podcast. I am your host, Ian Brandon, and I am back at Butler High School visiting the Black Student Union, also known as BSU. And today is going to be a little bit different. We have a additional special guest, and we'll get to her in a moment. But today's focus, we're going to be talking about the BSU Black Experience. We're going to be talking about the Teed Up Showcase, and we're going to be spending a little time sharing a story around gun violence. So I want to introduce my first guest today, the exec board, part of the exec board of the BSU, Kieri, president, Tristan, treasurer, and Trinity, vice president. Welcome.
Hey! Greetings.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining me today. For those who are not that familiar with you, would you guys give us your classification or like your grade and kind of one cool or fun fact about yourself?
Okay, hello, my name is Kieri. I'm in 12th grade and I'm the president of BSU. And a fun fact about me is I work at a daycare. I like working with kids.
Okay. Oh, my name is Trinity Greenlee. I'm the vice president of Black Student Union and I'm in the 12th grade. And a fun fact about me is I have a twin sister. So, yeah. My name is Tristan Greenlee. I'm the treasurer. I'm in the 12th grade. And a fun fact about me is probably I know how to play the violin.
Oh.
Same
here. So.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Girl,
so
piano.
What they don't know is, well, you mentioned you have a twin sister.
Mm-hmm.
Is this your
This
is your twin sister, right?
Yes. She's older than me by 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Mm-hmm. I bet you guys argue about that a lot, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's okay, as you should. Well, I think it's a beautiful thing that you guys both are not only growing together, but you're learning together, and to be in executive roles in leadership in an organization that's about leadership, I think it's a beautiful thing. You guys should give yourselves a round of applause for that. So let's jump right in here before I introduce our second guest for the evening. I'd like to know a little bit about what BSU is meaning to you all. Like, how does BSU make you feel? What have you gained? What have you learned from BSU? And like, how are you incorporating what you've learned into your everyday lives?
Oh yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So what BSU means to me, it's like, so with me, I like learning more about like my history and just being a part of people the same skin color as me, and just being able like to feel like that I can relate to them in so many like different ways, because during like in elementary school I wasn't really around people the same skin color as me.
Yeah.
So when I was in elementary school, I felt like they didn't really teach us the history and background of like people the same race as me, because they didn't experience it. So when I went to middle school, that's when I was really around a lot of people same skin color as me, and I could relate to them in so many different ways. And like people in my family, they told me about like their challenges and stuff and the things that they went through just because of their skin color and their race. So it made me look at like things a lot differently. So now moving into high school and getting into BSU and also taking a Black History class and learning more about like the challenges and the things that Black people faced really like meant a lot to me, because it just made me want to be more with this people, my race, because it just felt like I could relate to them a lot. So BSU means a lot to me. And then, like, when it comes time for college, I want to go to HBCU because you can just connect with them a lot more.
Safe space.
Yes.
Right? It gives you not just a safe space, but a place where you feel like you belong. And I mean, we read a lot of scholarly articles and research, and I mean, studies are out there that shows when you feel like you belong, academically you improve, right? Your overall experience in school is better.
Yeah. Okay. BSU to me means, well, I feel it's more so the Black community coming together to make change or build the community better as like a whole. And the whole feeling like a part of something, I also agree with that, because a lot of, like what Trinity said, a lot of Black kids don't grow up around too many Black kids, or they know about their history. And I feel like being a part of BSU helps with that. It helps you learn your history, helps you learn about yourself, and I appreciate that.
BSU to me means basically like Black excellence. Like a lot of stuff, like in school, you know, we learn about a lot of things Black people had to go through challenging wise. They don't really talk about the upside of being Black and everything about growing up and how Black people accomplish stuff. They mostly talk about tragedies. Like we get on topics about slavery, Martin Luther King, civil rights, Jim Crow, but they don't always talk about everything Black people succeeded in. Like even with in things Black people invented and stuff, like they always talk about what people of the other race did. They don't really give credit to Black people, like even with the traffic light or the light bulb or telephones or the radio. They don't ever talk about that. They always talk about the downside. They don't always talk about the upside. So being in BSU, we talk about like the upside of being Black, the upside of history and everything. We also talk about Black excellence. We don't just talk about everything Black people have done that was so bad with police brutality, racism, slavery. We talk about things different than that, and that's one reason why I like being in Black Student Union.
I love that. Kira, you mentioned a word that means a lot to our folk in community, and that word being community, right? I think in a lot of the interviews in schools that I visited, that's a common theme, right? BSU gives students a sense of community, internally and externally. Can you talk about things you guys have done or planned that have helped or enhanced your community? Like any drives, clothing opportunities, giveaways, like what sorts of things in BSU here at Butler have you guys done in and for the community?
Well, I do know one thing we did. We did a showcase, and a part of the showcase we helped like put it together, and we wanted to do an angel tree or a canned good drive. We was trying to plan different things to like help give back to the community. So little things like angel tree and the can give and like giveaways, like that was sort of the things we was doing here.
And I mean, again, that's what BSU is about, right? We talk about leadership, and that's in your face, on the job training as far as being a leader is concerned, right? How did you guys feel like when you saw your planning around those activities? How did you feel once you planned it and then you executed it? Like how did you feel afterwards?
Well, another thing that I want to go back to about the little raisin, what did we do? We also hosted a red carpet called The Last Hit. We spread awareness about drug abuse, and we did the red carpet, and the theme for the red carpet was Black dandyism, because we wanted to show the upside of being Black and to show the excellence of Black people once again. And with the red carpet, we hosted it. We also had a 15-minute speech talking about drug abuse and the downsides of it and impact it leaves on people. And during that speech, we tried to raise awareness. We asked the audience questions and everything. And during that time and that event, it made everybody feel good. It made everybody feel great. We got interviewed on the red carpet, and we even hosted like whoever was the best dressed. You got a prize. So I think it made everybody feel good. We had a DJ. Playing good music. Everybody ate. Everybody felt good. It made everybody feel great. Like even for me, I can say it just made me feel proud and accomplished because we actually followed through. We went through with it, and it was actually a pretty good event.
Yeah, I love. See, I was hoping you was going to bring that up, right? Because again, you got to experience being a leader, working in the community, and collaborating with, in my opinion, a heavy hitter in our community, not just our community, but the community of Louisville, Hip Hop into Learning, right? You guys got to partner with that wonderful organization. How was that experience in working with her?
Oh, the experience for me was great. And I felt like everything played out great because we would jot down our ideas, go over with her. She would give feedback. We would take the constructive criticism well, and then we'd try to better it or take the feedback, respectfully. And, she was very helpful. She was very helpful, and she helped out a lot. Like, the event came out great because I feel like we was kind of, it was kind of all over the place a little bit. But with her feedback, she definitely helped. She definitely helped.
Okay, I also feel like it was amazing working with her because not only did she listen to us, but yes, she gave us that criticism that we needed to be better and to grow into what we were doing, because it was really a practice. Like, we're gonna get more into it with the Teed Up Showcase coming up, so it was a really good practice for us. And it wasn't just like, oh, we have our names on it and we're just here. We was actually a part of it. We actually was like walking through the red carpet. We was on the stage. Like, it was a lot more.
I would say working with them was great because they listened to our thoughts, everything we had to say, what we wanted to happen, but also what they wanted to happen. They mixed it and combined it into one to get the red carpet grooving and stuff, and listen to everything we had to say. They took initiative to our opinion and listened about what we wanted done, but also what they wanted done. Like, I know sometimes being a kid working with adults is sometimes hard because they don't really like to listen or something, but they actually took our feelings and what we had to say into consideration. And we also got to help decorate and do everything. So
I love that. So, and I'm glad you guys are getting another round in working with Hip Hop into Learning, and that's a great segue into the Teed Up Showcase. And for those that are not aware, the Teed Up Showcase is presented by Hip Hop into Learning, and this is an opportunity for the community to celebrate student voice, student creativity, achievement through original music, powerful performances, and an opportunity for students to have conversations about being a leader, conversations around community and healing and the issues that are, I won't say plaguing, but issues that we commonly face in our communities, right? So let's talk a little bit about the Teed Up Showcase while we're here. So it's going to be held on April the 29th from 10 to 12. And from my understanding, there's quite a few students already registered for the event. My ear to the ground's been hearing around 500, and that's pretty close to, yeah. Is that? It's
a clocking moment.
Okay.
You know, it's a clocking moment.
Absolutely.
Very surprising.
Yeah, and it's early, right? So I think that's a testament to not only the event, but the work you guys are putting in. Like, having that many people interested in an event like this is amazing. And it's a testament to the purpose behind this, right? So you guys are in the planning stages, right? So talk to me a little bit about how the planning has been going thus far, and what are you looking forward to in this year's Teed Up Showcase?
I could talk about what I'm looking forward to. What I'm looking forward to is, like, I wanted to just better it. Like, it's been great so far, but I want it to be bigger and I want it to be better. I want new music. I want new activities. I just want better.
One thing I can say I'm excited for is probably the bigger the crowd, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, Butler does have the best audience.
Okay. All right.
Every school, you know, they're a little quiet, but like, you know, we bring it.
Yeah.
Like, nobody else really like says anything, so I could say maybe the more schools, maybe the audience would be better, you know.
And that's the hope, right? With an increase in student interest, hoping to get some new faces, right? That's one thing I'm looking forward to, is the expression through performance. And I love the originality that you guys bring, and just seeing you guys come together is amazing. It's amazing. So this year is going to be at the Kentucky Center for Performing Arts. Awesome venue, great community partner as well. So I'm hoping you guys are seeing, right, not just in your own BSU experience, but in collaboration with other organizations, what community means, and how you can enhance your experience in your communities by just being yourselves, right, finding purpose and getting active.
Okay, another thing is we want to try to encourage more high schools to attend. So we have been planning to have like challenges, like what Tristan said. Butler is always the most high. We always we come through for our other students that go to here. Like, so we definitely come through, and we want to try to get other schools to come through and support the kids that's going to be in the showcase. So we wanted to start doing like little challenges, like who can be the loudest, or who can have the most
crowd impact.
Yeah, crowd engagement.
Yeah.
We also wanted like more crowd interactions as well, because we said that we think there's like a couple of blind spots in the crowd, and it gets like a lot of dead moments in between. So we just want like it to be hyped and very pumped throughout the whole entire thing, like no blind spots, no anything. Like, even for the younger crowd, because like sometimes they be scared to speak because they're around older kids.
I can see that.
We like want to like kind of like different age groups to like spread it out just a little bit, even it out, the ratios. So,
and you guys giving them an experience is going to continue to help them come out of their shells, right? Because they're going to be next up, right? You guys are seniors on your way out.
Sadly.
Almost grown, right? So, before we introduce our special guest, I think you guys are going to kind of help me go through this next part of the interview, right? You got some things you want to talk to our next guest about. If there's anything, myself, right, being a district administrator, what is one thing, and I'll give you a moment to think about it. What's one thing that I could do to help Ms. Henderson help you all enhance the BSU experience?
I really just feel like just talking about it more, like just randomly bring it up. Like, it doesn't have to be like on the podcast or anything. Like, just you're around nieces and nephews, just bring it up. Like, encourage them to want to join when maybe they're older, or if they are of age for the high school club, just encourage them to join it.
What's that?
I agree. I agree. I feel like a lot of some people like know about it, but they don't want to get involved, and I think that's the thing. Some people are just scared to really get involved in clubs and just being around people. Like, then even when you're in the club, you can give your opinion here and there. Like, I just think that's what it is. And once again, like, a lot of schools really don't have it.
Yeah,
they really don't.
Yeah.
I also feel like a lot of kids our age feel like they're too good to join things like this, because they might think it's lame, or they might think people's going to talk about them, but it's genuinely a good club, and it brings, like I said, it brings you like closer to your community. Like, you get to not only learn from it, but you build a community as well.
I agree. I wish I would have been as mature as you guys. Like, when I was in high school, I was the person you talking about, and if I could go back, this is definitely a club I would have joined. So thank you guys for being leaders. So as we transition in, I brought you guys some gifts. Ms. Henderson's probably going to talk to you a little bit about it, but I want the people to know. You've got some HBCU and U information, right? All things HBCUs, and you have some college visiting journals. So as you guys are going on college trips, asking people about college, there's some questions, some prompts in there. You can jot down things and kind of prepare yourself. And then one of the things I'm really excited about is a small book. It's a good book, right? It's Leadership Principles for Teens. And it's a good read. It's a short, easy read, but I think it's going to kind of bring full circle some of the things you guys are learning and talking about in BSU in your community. So that's my gift for you guys today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our next guest has a phenomenal story and journey that we're going to get to hear a little bit about. I'm going to give her a soft introduction and then let her just tell us a little bit more. So Miss Rose is with the ACE Project and Moms Demand Action. So without further ado, I would love to learn a little bit more about your journey, Miss Rose, and looking forward to co-hosting this part of the segment with our BSU members. So, welcome.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you all so much for having me here today. For me, it's not even about me being here. I'm here to tell my story of, my son's life being taken. A lot of people say you lost your son. I never say I lost him. To me, if you lose something, you can go find it. I can't find him. He's not to be found. He was taken. And so for me, I thank you all for allowing me to come here, because it allows me, he's not with me, but he's with me. So I'm able to speak his name, which is Corey Michael. Ace was his nickname, Crow. And ACE was his nickname, and I use ACE as an acronym for Act Compassionately Every Day, because that was in the spirit of my son. And so when his life was taken, I founded the ACE Project. And so I am Rose Smith, and I am the executive director and the founder of the ACE Project, as well as a survivor membership with Moms Demand Action, which is an advocacy that fights against violence by guns and gun safety and stuff of that nature.
Well, thank you so much and welcome. Can you start by telling us a little bit more about what the ACE project does and how people can get involved.
Okay. Do you mind if I back it up a little bit?
I don't. Come on, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit because I think it needs to go to how ACE was started
Yes,
and
ma'am.
where it came and then what we kind of do.
Yeah.
As I said, you hear me say kind of interchangeably, ACE or Corey. On October 25th, 2014, it was a day that I never forget, of course. I lost a sister who lost her battle to cancer. So a lot of people don't know. A fun fact about me, I also have a cancer foundation. And it's called the Shug Cancer Foundation. Me and my sister was best friends. And so her nickname, or her granny name would have been Shug. So her granny name would have been Shug, but she did not live to see her grandchildren. And so I started a cancer foundation after she lost her battle with cancer. And Shug, I love acronyms. You're going to learn that about me too. Stands for Survivors Healed Under God's Grace Cancer Foundation. And so we were having an event. I had an event every October, just a big celebration of life. And my son Corey was there. All my family was very involved. He was there behind the scenes doing the stuff like handling the mics and the music, and he was working behind the scenes at the Shug Cancer Foundation where we're celebrating life for survivors. And I like to tell this story because you just never know what a difference a day made, what a difference a minute made. So we're there, we're working, and he's like, "Mom, come take a picture with me. Come take a picture with me." Boy, I'm trying to work with these survivors. I gotta do this. I gotta handle this. I want the survivors to be taken care of. He was very persistent though. "Mama, come on, take a picture with me." And I'm like, let me take his picture with this boy, because get him out of my hair. I'm gonna take his picture. I would not have known that was the very last picture that we took together, because exactly 1 week later,
Wow.
his life was taken. So I tell everybody, you value every moment, because you never know when it'll become a memory. That picture's one of the most precious memories that I had. And it's only because I was trying to get him out of my hair that I took that picture. I'm so glad that I did. And so on October 25th, that next week, earlier that day, as I said, it's Cancer Month. So I was doing a cancer walk. I walked that day. I remember I had a pink wig on. I had a tutu on. I mean, I'm out there doing it. And I get home, and the television was on, but I noticed my husband acting real strange. He started cutting the TV off. I didn't know they showing somebody had been killed. Mm-hmm. And so he's getting all these calls and all that, And I'm like, something's going on. He's acting real strange. Lo and behold, I finally, got in his head and like, honey, what's going on? You got to tell me what's going on. So everybody's trying to protect me, the mama.
Wow.
They're trying to protect me. They don't want me to know what they think has happened, which they saying my son has been shot and killed at the corner of 25th and Standard in the West End. And by 25th and Standard was an abandoned, boarded up house. So finally, I told my husband, I said, well, let's see what's going on. I remember throwing off the wig and trying to get myself together. Now, once I know, I'm in mode now, and I'm in mama mode, mama bear mode. I got to go see where my baby's at. I got to see what's going on. So we're driving. So we're going to the hospital. And then we're getting more calls. And they like, he's not at the hospital. Well, where is he at? He's not at. You hear these stories and you think they all go to the hospital. No. They took my son straight to the morgue. No hospital. And then so we drives to the morgue. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get in. These thinking this is not real anyway. He's not in there. He's not in there. So I'm going in, knocking, and this guy came in. I'm like, I'm the mother of Corey Crow and blah blah blah. And can I? No, ma'am, you can't get in. I'm like, I can't get in. So I'm still in denial. And this young man, I remember it like it was yesterday. What's your son's name? I give him the name. He pulled his driver's license out of his pocket. Yes, we have him. And I still didn't get to see my son. That was a Saturday. I did not get to see my son until Monday.
Wow. That is.
At the funeral home. I got to see him at the funeral home. And so that is how this nightmare began for me. Some of it. I kind of made it short, but that's where it began. And so after sitting on the front row, not even believing it was even real, and you start grieving. He had, my Ace had one son, and his son was 5 years old. He's a junior, Corey Crow Jr., who is now 16. He is 16 years old. Changed forever. And so what I did, I just grieving. And all I wanted was to hear my son's voice. I just wanted to feel his presence. And so what I did, I went on his Instagram. And I felt like it was my son speaking to me, because he had a post on there that I felt like it was just for me. And it said, every mother on earth birthed a child except my mother. She birthed a legend. High five, Mom. I said, you daggone Skippy. Right then and there, that's when Ace Project was born. I told my son in spirit right then, I said, son, I get it. And the Ace Project will be born. And the Ace Project will be a mother's promise and a son's legacy. And that's how Ace was born.
Wow. Jeez, I mean, first and foremost, for your loss, condolences. And it's mind-blowing to me how systems and processes are established. Like the fact that you could not see or get access to me, that is just mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. And so one of the things that I did initially, after I said Ace is born, so one thing I did, I said he was murdered at the corner of 25th and Standard on the 25th day in October. So the 25th of every month, I stood on the corner. So that means December 25th, Christmas Day, I was on that corner. And I always like to say I never stood on that corner alone. Someone was always on that corner with me. And I did that because I wanted whoever was responsible for taking his life to know that Corey was loved. Mm-hmm. His life was valuable. And I wanted justice. So I was going to stand on that corner so no one would forget. And I'm thinking, well, within a few days or a month or two, somebody's going to be held accountable. Because I don't see, for me, justice is getting my son back. I don't see justice, but I did want accountability. I wanted someone to be held accountable. This year, just past October was 11 years. And I want you to know that I still don't know who, and I still don't know why. That means his murder is still unsolved. And so even after standing on that corner, and I'm going to speed it up because I know we want to get into what the organization does. So after a year, I decided, no, I can't keep standing out here on this corner. I'd be standing out there 11 years later every day on the corner. But in essence, am still standing on that corner, because within a few years, I saw myself on television, because I would have the news come and we would used to do the balloons and the visuals and all that type of stuff. That's what I did. And so I saw myself on TV, and I remember that particular time. For some reason, I had like my hand up in the air. I said it was like a victory stance. And something inside of me spoke in my spirit and said, now you're going to purchase that property.
Wow.
I purchased the abandoned property where my son was murdered and turned it into a community center and made it a safe place for those impacted by gun violence and trauma. So that is something that I did. And so as for ACE, we had a community center, because initially, before we had the community center, I heard about y'all doing different acts of kindness, and ACE is about acting compassionately every day. So initially, we did shoe drives, clothing drives. We would go out and feed the homeless and stuff of that nature. And I am just so honored to say, you all, last month on the 8th of December, you see me wearing a t-shirt that says Ace Way Peace, because we got 25th and Standard has got the honorary street name of Ace Way. So my son got a street, y'all. Yeah.
I love that.
And I say, and so I stand and I said, Ace Way is acting compassionately every day. And we really preach peace. And for me, my peace would be people everywhere acting compassionately every day.
Okay, so what do you want young people to understand about the real impact of gun violence on families and communities?
What I want young people to understand and realize is, I say this all the time, my Ace, he's okay. That's my perspective. My Ace is in a better place. He's all right. I'm here. That I tell people all the time that my Ace got a death sentence. But me, his family, me, his son, his siblings, the ones that loved him, we got life. We got life sentences. And that's what young people got to realize. You taking somebody out, you think you're only affecting them. No, you're affecting all their loved ones. You're affecting the communities. There's a lot of people that's being impacted by the violence. It's not just you. And then you're messing up your own life as well. Your life is messed up as well. So I just want to let young people know that, there's consequences for your actions, but you need to be making some better choices, because the actions is not just about you and them. There's so many other people who will be impacted.
What message do you have for other families who are going through similar pain right now?
That is a tough one, because everybody's pain is so different. Everybody grieves so different. So the message that I like to spread, because not only do I work with youth and I have programming for youth, I have the Healing Project, the ACE Healing Project. And with the ACE Healing Project, I have the grief support, which is Voices of Pain. And not only do we have that, we have a podcast, Voices of Pain, Mothers with a Message. So we do that as well. So other grieving families, I want them to know that they don't have to do it alone. And there will be brighter days. And although this is not the cards the way we want them to be, that is my motto. We're working with the hand we were dealt. And I feel like we can work with the hand that you can work with the hand you were dealt, and ultimately it will be okay. And you have a village of other people, and you have other survivors that will walk this path with you, that you're not alone. It's not an easy path, I would like to tell other families, but there is support, and ACE Healing Project is definitely the support.
What role do you think high school students can play in creating a safer communities and preventing gun violence?
First of all, you have to speak out. Advocacy is a very good part to play, and that's something that I am trying to work with, to get more young people to speak out, go and meet your legislators, let them know, because you have a voice and your voices matter. And people, I hear people say all the time, the youth are our future, and I personally believe the youth is our now. Mm-hmm. We need y'all now. I don't need y'all we need you all now. Y'all have the energy that it takes to change this thing. Your voices matter. So I say you need to do whatever it takes for change. And one is speaking to your different friends, and the different ones in your circle and people that you know, and let them know the impact of it. And I'm sure probably all of you all know someone who's been impacted. Yep. There's none of us has not been impacted by it. We all know somebody. Even I talk about my son whose life was taken. I have a nephew that I don't talk about that's life was taken, and I have a grandson who was out on Bardstown Road, and he was the one that got the bullet grazed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't even speak of him. He was like 17. Wow. He survived, thank you, Lord. But we need those voices, young voices.
And that's one thing I'm always, I'll say, preaching to our youth, especially in BSUs. Like, it's not just student voice, it's advocacy, right? There's that old saying we kind of grew up on: if you see something, say something. And that used to be, not the cool thing, right? It's always been a don't be a snitch, like that was popular, right? Like, in these situations, there's everyone's at a loss, right? There's no benefit to not having a voice and not speaking up and not doing what's right.
On April 29th, 600 youth will be in attendance at the Teed Up Showcase. When you see the young people showcasing and expressing themselves through art and activism, what will that mean to you?
I think it means a lot. It would mean a whole lot to me, especially to see all these young people in there, and they're in there for a positive impact. And so, but one thing I think I would like, I love that the talent and all of that is there, but I also kind of want the young people to know, that the world don't just need your talent, we need your character. Yeah. And also that you're not just defined, by where you come from. Let them know that they're defined by the choices that they make. Those choices can define you, and they can give you these young people a life sentence.
Correct.
What will your message be to all the youth at the Teed Up Showcase?
Just what I told you, pretty much that. They are not defined from where they come from, that they are defined by their choices, and really picking up a gun and this violence, that's a choice that to be made, and you can make good choices.
If you could leave our listeners with one message about creating change in their schools and communities, what would it be?
That change starts with you. It's you. Don't look for nobody else. Look for the change within you. Who would have thought me standing on the corner the 25th of every month, just me, little old me. Anybody that knows me, my family, I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk. But change, in order for that corner to change, it started with me. And when we fixed up that house, and that whole little community's changed. So I just want the listeners to know change starts with you. And it doesn't have to be loud. It could be silence. Just standing on that corner is what I did.
Well, Miss Rose, what would Corey think about what you're doing today and how your movement created this, like, with his name?
He would be smiling from ear to ear, because I'm the introvert. He was extrovert. He loved attention. So actually, I believe I get so much media attention, all that, and people probably think, "Oh, she's cool with it." I'm not. He is. So he's getting the attention. So when I didn't say, but I have a business. So I do entrepreneurship and all that with the youth. So in the business, when I was doing the Should Council Foundation, I would do that type of stuff, and he would come to me and he would tell me, "Mama, you doing it. You doing the doggone thing." That's what he would say. "Mama, you doing it." So what I think he is saying right now, and he would say, "You go, Mama." I hear him. He's saying, "You go, Mama. You doing the daggone thing." He would be so proud. He's up there gloating, honey. He gloating.
I love that. It's the impact. You didn't know this, but I knew of you prior to coming today, and it's just from how I've been in community spaces, and I just kept hearing your name in the healing place, and I was looking forward to meeting you today, and I'm so impacted by your story, and I know these young leaders are as well. So thank you for giving us a little time and educating us.
Thank you so much. And I would like to say, if anyone's interested in learning more about the ACE Project, that you can go to aceprojectky.org, and it'll talk about the programmings and all that type of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you. So as we wrap up, I want to give you guys another opportunity to get involved with the Teed Up Showcase 2026. Again, we're going to be at the Kentucky Center for Performing Arts. For more information, you can visit hhn2l.org, or feel free to email info@hhn2l.org. Ask your questions, get involved, sign up. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to see young people expressing themselves, advocacy, student voice, original songs, performances. Get involved. It's a great opportunity. Again, April 29th from 10 to 12. Okay? BSU, y'all want to leave us with a final thought?
Really, just please come out and support us for the Teed Up Showcase. It's going to be fun. Regardless of what anybody thinks, it's going to be a great time, and it is a time to bring the community together.
Come on, twins. Let's see if the twins gonna twin.
I'm really same thing she said, honestly. Come out and support. Be loud, be enthusiastic. And I would just like to say, I'm left speechless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm left speechless. I think everything she said definitely had an impact. I would like to say, even like, if you went to the Teed Up Showcase last year or the year prior, and like you had like an opinion on it, or think we could work on this, or think they could work on that, I mean, just share your thoughts. But you can also still come and support it. Not every year is going to be the same or anything. And also, I would like to say thank you for coming and sharing your story and telling us about what happened and spreading awareness on, gun violence and everything. I mean, a lot of people deal with a loss in their family from gun violence, and not everybody's the same. But everybody has a different story and has a different way of life. and a different view. And I would just like to thank you for sharing your thoughts and your story about everything. And I think it leaves a good impact on the youth.
Thank you all for having me and letting me tell my story.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I want to also thank Nairi Clayton Taylor and Hip Hop Into Learning. She's the executive and educational director.
The boss. Hello.
Thank you for your time and your organization partnering with these young people and just bringing something so exclusive and phenomenal to the city of Louisville. The city knows you, and you've been rocking and rolling for a long time, and thank you. So until next time, this is the Pillar Podcast Student Edition, signing off.